everyone, this is Marie, and today I'm going to do a back to school project for you, and we're using a stamp set called Avocado, and the name is Grateful Season. We're going to color this apple. It always reminds me of a back to school. I'm going to be having my light source coming from your upper left, and we're going to have a reflective light on the right side of the apple as well. Now I'm going to start just by marking where I'm going to want some of my highlights, and in that highlight I'm going to have some yellow show through. I'm going to try to make a really super dark apple with some lines and variegations through it. And then I'm taking my R2O and I'm flicking toward the highlight. We're almost going to be doing what's called a feathering technique in a way, where we're going to be blending the yellow and the red, kind of overlapping, flicking one color into the other. This works well with your very light tones. And I'm mapping also where I'm going to be having my shadows. I want to have my apple look very round, not flat. So I'm darkening with a Y00 the yellow part of the apple, or the highlight. I'm going to put a little on top. Just a light flicking motion. You don't need to be pressing hard on your paper. We're going to be going in with one of the lighter midtones now, an R22, over where I wanted to map my shadows, the very outer edge. Across the rim, many times an apple's shadow will kind of be around the very top as well, but yet down into where the stem is, it can sometimes be a little bit lighter around that edge. Now we're going to be putting in our very dark shadow with our R27 over where I mapped my very darkest color. Again, the outer edges, the bottom, just a rim around the top, reserving some of that area for my yellow light. Just light flicking motion, barely touching the paper. I'm going to be blending out with my mid-tone, my R24, just flicking over the top till I get a blend. The harsh line is eliminated. But you notice I'm always flicking in the same direction, in an up or a down motion. Now I'm going to darken my highlights with techniques I've showed you before for extreme shading, and that's by placing a gray, sandwiching it in between my darkest shadow, and then putting that color again on top. So again, my darkest shadow, my gray, and in this case I'm using a W6, that's a very dark gray, and then my R27 on top. Just putting that in between. If you do not put the dark shadow on top, the gray will almost float to the top and it will give it more of a gray tone. I just want to enhance the shadow, make it an extreme shadow. So I sandwich the gray in between, and you'll notice I used a W because my R works really well with my warm gray, a warm color and a warm gray. We're going to be flicking out just a little bit now with the R22, my lighter mid-tone, flicking toward the yellow but not completely covering the yellow. I want some of that yellow to still show through on this particular apple. and I want some lines to show. The red flicking over into the yellow. I don't want to completely blend that out. And then we're flicking toward the highlight again with our R2O. I usually like to darken my extreme shadows one more time and completely go over the apple again with the same colors as I used initially. It just enhances the contrast between light and dark a little bit better. Now this is optional. Sometimes I like a little more texture. The apple looks fine without it, but I'm putting some poppy red Prismacolor pencil on top. It is always okay to use colored pencil on top of your Copic. And we're going to darken our shadows with the Tucson red. But never color over the colored pencil with your Copic marker. Always put the pencil on top of Copic or Shinhan, but never try to color over the top of the pencil with any alcohol ink-based marker. But I think it adds texture, makes it pop a little more, but it was just fine without it. It's up to you, it's totally optional. I'm using lemon yellow to enhance my yellow highlight at this point and the yellow part of the apple. Just going over it lightly. Now I'm going to color G40 on the stems, and I'll be using yellow green 6-7, yellow green 6-3, and yellow green 1-3. I think the 1-3 is going to give this a little bit of a highlight and let it pop a little more. Blending with my G40. There you go. Now I'm going to add a little bit of ground to my apple. So there you have your apple. I hope you give it a try. It makes a cute little gift bag, a topper for a gift bag for a classmate or your child's teacher. Makes a cute card or a topper. Give it a try. I'd love to see your card. Thank you.